Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast, brought to you by Rig Hand Distilleries.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. If you listened to last week's Real Life Podcast and thought, man, that's depressing, I'd rather listen to Static. You're really going to like this show.
Things have gone well.
Wanye, Smigorowski / Chris Chalmers, Bag Milk, Jay Downton at the Squire, Jared. What in the sweet shit has happened? We found a whole new, it's like we were in Mariana's Trench. I'm going to bring the ocean into it, Bag Milk. And then we fell into a sub-chamber of Mariana's Trench.
Just like the team, we had a closed-door meeting after last show. Be like, we got to be more positive.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the funny thing about last week's show is we were super salty. Very salty.
Very salty.
And then the Oilers went out and rattled off a 7-2 win that night.
And people were like tweeting, you should do a new show. Like, yeah, but then good thing they're spaced out a week apart, Chalmers.
They just do that to us too, like straight up. You can have a week of disappointment and then all of a sudden a 7-2 win makes you feel like it's not going to be bad anymore.
We got to celebrate those high points. Bag Milk, let's hit up what has happened since the last Real Life Podcast.
7-2 win. Buffalo. That was on Monday.
Amazing.
Great game.
Great game.
A lot of fun.
I saw Jack Eichel crying on the bench. I felt big. I felt 2 inches taller.
If there's one thing that makes me happy, it's seeing Jack Eichel cry at the hands of Connor McDavid.
Sad Jack Eichel.
If people want me to buy an Oculus Rift, and I assume they do, Bag Milk, you got to get some sort of VR game where I get to beat Jack Eichel with a bat.
Poor
If
guy.
it was realistic, he's just got that face. He's got that sour lemon eating anyway. So that was good. 7-2, VR beating.
Everybody's pumped.
Luch,
Everyone's
2
pumped.
goals.
2 goals.
How can we forget?
2 goals. And he legit got set up for a Hattie opportunity at the end and just missed.
And that second goal hit, I felt like the earth shift a bit.
Yeah.
Like it was such a monumental.
Both nice goals by him, too.
Yeah.
The first one especially, he ripped that
The
thing
cough
top
up,
shelf.
The cough up shot there. Where
Top
the guy,
shelf. That thing went off the tender, didn't it?
The only problem I had with Lucic's 2-goal game is that it gave Coombe a commanding lead the Lucic goal draft, but that's a problem for another day.
It's another problem.
7th in the team in scoring and goals right.
Good times. And then he scored
Lucic.
next game. He's hot.
So the next game was a 3-2 win in the shootout over Vancouver,
Hot.
right?
Yeah.
We were feeling good.
We were 2-0 in our last 2 games, Jay.
It was Wednesday.
It was a great week.
Momentum building.
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday.
It was Wednesday. You probably went out for some wings, maybe a cocktail.
Yes.
Enjoyed an Oilers win against a divisional rival.
I was looking forward to the Calgary HNIC game since the schedule came out. I always look ahead and I say to myself, which are going to be the games that I get real drunk at? And that was one of the ones that stood out. Saturday night, the Flames are in town. They're bastards.
And how'd that go, Wanya?
It went very poorly. I don't understand why the fans were more jacked than most of the Oilers to play the game.
So I had to do, so on the weekends, I do the GDBs for Gregor. And what I kind of thought leading up to the game is if there was ever an opportunity to be so pumped, so psyched up, so fired up and ready to go, it's a Hockey Night in Canada game against the Calgary Flames.
I unveiled the Connor All-Star, Bag Milk.
I knew you were excited about it.
I was excited. I held onto it like a gal waiting for a prom, and I'd bought my dress 6 months early.
What was the vibe like on Saturday? Was it like, I assume was it half? Flames Oilers?
I've been to more exciting semiconductor conferences. Like it was like everybody's walking around, how do you do? Yes. Hello. There was a lot of Flames fans in the house.
Yeah.
And like leading into the game, I thought this is going to be good. I like when there's Flames fans there.
I do too.
I like it when there's Habs fans there.
Yeah.
Brings a little bit of energy to the old barn, right?
Unless things go sideways.
There was a guy sitting behind the Oilers bench, I think. And he had a Flames jersey that says Van Sucks 69 and a cowboy hat. And after every goal, he would stand up and take his cowboy hat off and gesture to the crowd. If I had the money to be sitting lower bowl, I would kick that man square at his...
Well, because you know what? There's nothing more fun than being in the other team's building when your specific club is running the show.
Oh, it's the best.
Like when we went down to Calgary, yes, they lost that first game against Calgary, but for 40 minutes, we were chirping anyone within earshot, and it was a great time.
Where was the fire in the first period of that specific game in this game?
There was none.
There was none. I had to sit. There was this fucking flame troll who was behind me, and he's an older gentleman. He's probably in his 50s, and he talks like this, and he wouldn't fucking stop talking all game. It was driving me nuts. I was with Mandees. I'm like, fuck, I want to turn around and punch this guy. But I'm like, he's got a right to chirp. But then all the crowd started to turn on him, and all the ammunition they were firing his way was, "Oh, how many cups do you have?
oh, God.
Only using the past." And the guy was right to be like, "You have to let go of the past at some point. Like, you guys fucking suck now." And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, this fucking guy is driving me nuts, and he's right. And we were close to making it, and every time we scored, I would turn back and I would stare in his fucking eyes, and I would just point at him, and I wouldn't say anything. I would just point at him.
Yes.
And then after when Nuge scored the 3-2 goal,
Yeah.
I did that, and he didn't talk for 10 minutes.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, we fucking and then,
Silence intimidation.
and then we score the 4th goal, and then he's back, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, he deserved to. We deserved it.
Oh, it was his day. Oh yeah.
Well, that's the worst part about it is when the other team's fans are right.
Yeah.
That's when it hurts the most because
They brought like a whiteboard and they're just drawing out graphs.
yeah,
showing us.
yeah.
Well, in the Calgary game when we went down and we were winning, I was consoling Flames fans because we're just giving it to them. Like, don't worry, there's lots of hockey left.
Oh.
Fuck. Sure as shit did I jinx that, didn't I? With that.
You were at that game, both of you? Did you guys see the brawl in the stands?
No.
Apparently there was a big one.
Really?
Yeah, I guess the friend of mine that was at our hockey game last night told me that he was sitting in the lower bowl and a guy about 10 rows back tried to throw a beer on the ice. Of course, it didn't make it. Lid came off and it went all over this guy in the 3rd row, and some got on the guy in the 2nd row, and the guy in the 3rd row stood up, and the guy in the 2nd row stood up and just turned around and thought it was him and just knocked him out and started a fight.
Knocked the guy that got beer on him?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
so like
peak
mistaken
Oilers.
identity, like straight up mistaken identity. The guys just stand there drenched in beer. Like that's the frustration boiling over straight up
We're
right there.
turning on each other. That was probably two
turning on-
Oilers fans fighting
probably
each
was.
other.
Awesome.
Probably
It's going to be
was.
like that last Mad Max.
It's
gonna be
awful.
great.
When I heard about that, I'm just like, oh God, this is why I go to Oil Kings games. There's no fights there. We win. We win. We get points.
Oil Kings.
I went to another one straight up.
Holy moly.
Well, I'm going to the one on Friday, but only because the
just
Moose Jaw Warriors
Do
are in
yourself a
town.
favor and just really, really take all in what Trey Fix-Walensky is as a player and a person.
Oh, the guy that was just sleeping
Representing-
under our radar that went drafted in the
representing-
7th round, has been playing under our noses all this time. We didn't have the idea to maybe pick him in the 6th fucking round.
From here, representing short people like myself, maybe portly fellas like myself.
You know, if I had time to give one fuck about the Oil Kings, I
You
don't.
might want to start
No.
for your own mental
No.
well-being.
No. I'm going to
We're
nail
in
my
first
feet
in-
and my balls to the deck of the SS Oilers.
Trey-
We're all going down together.
Trey leads the league in assists. He leads he's second in the league in the points, and we are top of the division. It's good times.
His name
man.
is Trey.
Fix-Walensky. Oh yeah, Trey.
I can't.
Just like the drummer from Green Day, Trey Cool.
Trey and this guy and Trey is Trey Cool.
I can't be bothered.
He needs to change his profile picture though when he scores because it's like when the hairstyle was in when they cut it way up high,
Oh, yeah.
shave it, and then it's really long on top.
Cool.
Yeah, that was in for about a couple weeks.
I gotta tell you how salty I am and how emotionally connected I am to the Oilers. It is souring me so much this weekend, especially Battle of Alberta's like fucking show up. I'm so fucking mad. Every Sunday I play like a pickup game of hockey. Same guys show up. We throw, sticks essentially, and we play for an hour and a half. And I'm so fucking salty and mad, going into this. I'm like telling off guys for like not making passes because I'm like thinking I'm watching the Oilers. I'm like, why the fucking you gotta pass that sooner? You gotta. I'm like freaking out. I'm all of a sudden I had to like sit on the bench like, what the fuck's going on with yourself, man? Look at you. Like
Affecting society.
That's so salty. I'm like, I gotta
society.
grow up
On
here
a
and be a
whole.
little aware and be able to detach from this, but I can't. I'm getting mad at guys in pickup hockey.
Talk about the game against Carolina, Bagmouth.
All right. So Saturday's game did not go well. I pick myself up. I wake up first thing in the morning. I start knocking out the GDB and I say, hey,
You got to.
today's a new day.
Today's a new day, like that Celine Dion song, New Day.
I look at the schedule. I look at the stats. I look at the lineups, the news. I say, hey,
We got him.
these Hurricanes, they're a beatable team.
Nothing.
What the Oilers need is they need a little rain on what is an otherwise dry and dusty desert. The Hurricanes, they are the team to bring this opportunity to us. And instead, first shot goal 27 seconds in. I'm watching it. I'm like, oh.
They should be having dressing room meetings to avenge the 06 Cup Finals still. And someone should be putting a $10,000 bill on the board saying, this goes to the first guy who knocks out a hurricane cold.
Well, I'm still carrying that grudge.
I am too.
2006, that may be 13 years ago, but I'm still carrying that fresh.
Every single game the Oilers have lost to the Hurricanes since then, I've tweeted, name a worse loss to the Hurricanes. Oh, wait.
You see Titch's tweet too? Tchaikovsky?
Yeah.
Same thing.
He gets a lot of mileage out of that one.
That's what
What'd he
Brownlee
say?
said.
Why is everyone quoting everyone? You're quoting Brownlee.
I think it's
What did he say? What did he say?
Well, he said this might be the most disappointing loss to the Carolina Hurricanes I can remember.
Tchaikovsky, you son of a bitch. That's my joke. That's fuck.
What do
funny?
you say? Like, I mean, when the Bronx cheer comes out for the first shot of the game, 10 minutes in, they're already down by 3 or whatever it is. What are you going to do? What a horrible way to spend a Sunday evening.
Oh,
I read the Sportsnet, on the Sportsnet app, I read like the breakdown of the game, and they were talking about how just bad Carolina's been and how Brendan Moore was like so mad at everybody on the team.
Yeah, Brendan Moore said he was going to play.
He was going to lace them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
The Oilers
I'm
are like,
just
the old Oilers are like, can we do that?
And
Can we sign him? Can we do that? Yeah, okay.
I'm literally going broke because I just, with my heart and because of you guys, I want to support the Oilers the best way I can, and that is to bet on
You
them.
don't have to bet on the Oilers to support us, but I
Listen.
like where your heart is.
But my heart's there, and I want them to win. And so this one, I'm just like, okay, man, I can't get like, it's been good last week, but then this game, so I bet on it, and within like literally by the 10-minute mark, I didn't even
Money's gone.
the money was gone, and I didn't even want to watch anymore, and it was stupid. So
It was so disheartening.
everything that I read though was like, I know that we're on a back-to-back. We're at home though, and Carolina's playing like crap.
Carolina was 9 points out of a playoff spot yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, of all the teams to play, here we go. Here we go. It's going to avenge my saltiness from 13 years ago, at least a little bit. It's going to make
Rolly
me...
was in the house.
Everyone helps.
Rolly was in the house.
Rolly was in the house.
Rolly was in the house. Looked good.
To come out with that performance in front of Rolly, get out of here.
How did you guys see that?
He was on the scoreboard.
Was he?
Wait, is that Calgary though? He was on the.
That was Calgary, but I only assumed.
I assume he's still there.
He stayed. Maybe he left.
Yeah, sorry. I
Oh,
was thinking
he
the
just couldn't.
Calgary
He
game.
just couldn't get enough.
They just mashed into one big blob of goo.
Any chance Rolly could strap him up for a game or two? Maybe finish out the year.
Who's our backup to our backup right now?
Al Montoya.
Or
NHL 19. It's again.
Skinner's the
Steve
starter
Sterrett.
in Bakersfield right now.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
Not Skinner.
Not a real guy.
I don't know who that
Yeah,
guy
Skinner.
is.
Stuart Skinner.
Oh, we're doing that thing where we have two conversations at
Yeah.
once. It's a podcast.
I have NHL. I'm playing NHL 19 a season because I've turned into a video game junkie right now, and I'm being Edmonton again because of my
Of course.
heart.
Respect.
We're doing a hell of a lot better than they are, except our backup goalie Talbot got hurt, so Koskinen's been starting. Some guy
You know
named
why?
Steve
Because
Sterrett.
you have heart.
Yeah.
When you're destroying your children at NHL 19, you're doing it with heart.
You should see how good Luch is in the game. Woo, he fast. I went, these guys made a mistake.
You made a mistake, EA Sports. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I want to talk about the presser today, Bag Milk, that the Oilers held, which was a trick. It was a ruse. Everyone thought Chiarelli was going to get fired.
We were all excited.
Amazing. And then, well, we'll get to it after this. Real Life Podcast.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
The break, Jay was saying that the annoying Flames fan was giving him the
Throat
finger
cut.
across the throat.
Throat cut.
After he said some non
Stuff you can't say in 2019,
stuff
man.
you can't say in 20 about directed at our players.
You get suspended in men's league hockey for 5 games saying that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Part of me just thinks it'd be awesome if there was just mayhem in the stands. Everyone was fighting and the police were like, let them fight.
civil
Let
disobedience.
him get it out
And
of
then
him.
like people are like daisy chaining up into the OEG box and like knocking out Chia.
What's
It'd be
a
like
daisy
that.
chain?
The Outsiders.
It's when you like use people to climb up people.
Oh.
in a Daisy-like fashion.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
They're all named Daisy. It's very
Every single
some-
person
some-
named Daisy, line up. We're going to climb up.
Exactly.
Some person named Daisy invented this sweet human ladder.
You know when people are like, have like something heavy to carry and they go like this and the next guy goes like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. It's Daisy chain.
Oh.
Look, we could sit
Also,
here and
shout
talk.
out to the Lazy Susan.
Oh, love a lazy Susan. Spinning? Get out of here.
It's the way to do it. Bag Milk, talk to me about this presser today.
So we got tricked. As you said before the break, we all thought maybe today was that day.
The ruse.
Maybe today was going to be Black Monday in the sense that everybody's got to go. Instead, what they did was they talked to Connor and Nuge and Hitchcock, and they asked some questions like you would expect them to ask, and they didn't say a whole lot. All of us were disappointed. Now, other news from today, Yawney, is that Ratty and Spooner both got placed on waivers. Ryan Spooner, of course, traded for Ryan Strome in mid-November, so things are not looking good there. So I thought it was interesting, speaking of the pressure, talking to Hitchcock and why those two guys got sent down, and he was basically saying it's Puljujarvi and Yamamoto giving more to the team than the other two were, so they had to go.
So is this the waivers? Sometimes they trick me and I'm like, so-and-so's on waivers. I'm like, oh no, they're gone. They're like, no, they're not gone. It's just...
Yeah, so they're going to... The point is to send him to Bakersfield. However, will they make it there? I guarantee you Ryan Spooner's making it there. Yeah. Nobody is pulling that contract.
If someone takes him, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I do think Ty Ratty is going to get pulled.
What's Spooner making? Just so
3.1. He actually makes $4 million, but the Rangers were convinced to stay to keep paying $900K, so that the money evened out in the Strome for Spooner. So 3.1 is the bill there total. If you're following along, Chalmers, Jordan Eberle for Ryan Strome, for Ryan Spooner.
For a thick glass of nothing.
I feel like this reminds me of when I was in like grade 5 and I took a really, really sweet hockey card that I had to school, and somebody offered to trade me one of those upper deck cards which I didn't know at the time you could erase the logos and treat them as a misprint. and I went and I took this sweet, like, I think it was like a Ray Bork, like 4th year. It was a great hockey card. This kid gave me a Sergei Makarov, and I took it home, and I was so happy, and I showed it to my brother, and my brother was like, you just traded that and got nothing for it. And I went, wow.
Did you learn from it? Did you learn from the experience?
No, which is why I don't think Chiarelli will learn from it either.
That kid's name was Peter Chiarelli.
That kid's name was. Yeah, but no. I was the Peter Chiarelli in that.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Peter Chiarelli wouldn't have never done a good deal like that.
Oh God. Okay. I'm going to say some things. I'm going to say some things and just stay with me because it might be all jumbled and all over the fucking place. So we've got a team, and if you listen, and we'll get into the pressers, that it's in fucking shatters all on a personal level. And they're having a tough time performing because they're walking on eggshells because they're trying so hard to win individually, and we have no cohesiveness at the moment. Our culture is fucked because we have a terrible leader. We've got terrible management, and we have to be in a position to start trying to pump and be on the player side to try to get them to feel better, more comfortable. If you hear Adam Larson, which I'm assuming we'll talk about a little later, this guy needs a little bit of love right now. But this is now affecting, me. Yes, I'm connected to the team, but like on a civic pride level, in the sense of, as an Edmontonian, what's happening with this team is now affecting me as an Edmontonian. I'm going around and I'm getting shit on by everyone. Calgary people. Oh, you're from Edmonton? You clearly suck, Oilers. Toronto, you suck, Oilers. Like, this all is like personal attacks. So as an Edmontonian, Peter Chiarelli is not welcome here. He's not allowed to pay property taxes. He shouldn't be fucking going to one of our many Starbucks or getting delivery of Oodle Noodle. I'm going to refuse his next order. But he's not welcome here. He is not a citizen of this city because clearly he does not give a fuck about any of us.
Did you just revoke his hood pass?
He's out.
Wow.
It's a lot of passion.
He's out. I'm sitting there. I'm talking to the owner of Sherbrooke Liquor. He's out at Little Brick, and we had a long chat about the team, and we're just talking about the culture and the culture and the culture, and it's all fucking broken, and all this trickles down into, in terms of ownership to management, or what's above the in between of ownership and management. It's all trickling down to this cesspool that these players need to play in.
Yeah, but
and this is the product that we're seeing. I don't think we're that bad of a team, but you've got Lucic, who's in his head right now, and the added pressure of playing in Edmonton makes it even worse. It makes it worse for a lot of these players. I don't think we're actually that bad. We just need to create an environment for them to succeed.
So I was going to ask you.
Chiarelli is the fucking root of this, and because this is linked to my civic pride of being an Edmontonian, I want to take his citizenship card away. So, Don Iverson?
When you said my civic pride is being hurt right now,
yes,
that you're having to deal with all this, my first question that came to my head was, well, what can you do about it? You can't do anything about it.
I can't do anything about it.
Personally, you tried by revoking his stuff and all that.
That would
but
pass.
you personally can't do anything about it. So like, why? I don't know. Why do you let it affect you so much?
So we need to, well, it's all about, we need to realign the shit that we're deflecting
but
towards
who's
team.
we?
Well, no, like
The team, right? Like, I understand why
like
you're
we have to
passionate
stop.
about it,
I think
but like,
I think we have to like everything, and everyone is just focusing on shred. But I think it really needs to like that. It needs to be focused at that level and that level only right now, because we need some major changes. Because you can't fault the players for the situation we're in right now.
We as the royal we, Chalmers. We as the fans and the organization together. So if we all pray for something hard enough, it'll happen.
No,
We're the Oilers Nation guys.
there's only literally one thing.
No,
like,
what Chalmers is saying, like, why do we think, like, why do we care?
yeah,
no,
basically.
not why
No,
do you
but, like,
care?
what
Why
are
do you
we
let it
gonna do
affect you
about
so
it?
much? I care.
Well, let it affect because we're all in on the team,
I
son.
understand that,
It's like
but
you with
like-
the Clemson whatevers. You love them so much,
Like,
and all
they're
year
the
long
Tigers, and I
you're
do not
thinking
love
about their defensive end.
I did not.
And that's how we think about the Oilers.
Yes.
What else is there to think about? Nothing.
So, okay, my point is though, like, this is going to continue to happen with the owner who trickles down to only wanting a boys club if that building isn't making money. And
Yep.
they're going to raise beer prices and they're going to make money. And the only thing we can do about it is not go to the fucking games.
and as
Don't
a
go
fan,
if you don't like it,
as
right?
a fan, that's fucking terrible.
But there's so many people here that want the experience of going to hockey games, which I fully understand. But if that building's packed, don't expect change with the regime you have. Just don't.
So
Prove
that's
us wrong.
and that's where we need to focus on. I think honestly, it might be time for a new owner, in the sense of like all the stuff. The whole reason behind purchasing this team was this ginormous, amazing real estate play that is evolving before our eyes. That's all now happening. I think now it needs, because clearly the attention or the direction or the culture or whatever that's being trickled down is clearly not fucking working. And it is Groundhog Day with what's going on. We haven't done really anything to fix that.
Bad owners can make championship teams. They just can. Jerry Jones can do it. He's a terrible owner. He gets way too involved in it. He had a boys club. I don't think it's as easy as saying you can change out the owner. Like,
oh no, I'm just saying, but that's one element. I'm not saying this is not a call out. Like, it's got to, like, that is something that could happen.
Unfortunately, there's probably not that many people in his inner circle that have said to him, you know what, man, this keeping around like dudes from the 80s, it's just not working, man. Like, you're killing everybody with it. You're bringing in GMs that are making bad moves and not doing anything about it. And all these guys are just appeasing you because you want to hang out with them. Like,
but they have no active roles in the team. That's the thing. He's keeping the boys club around to be his boys, but
who's his advisor? Who's literally his advisor right now? The person he trusts the most when it comes to day-to-day operations.
It would have to be Bob Nicholson.
Kevin Lowe.
So it is Kevin Lowe. So Kevin Lowe is like, I see I've seen him at games and he's there all the time. Like, he talks to the media and you still get that smug feeling from him. It's just, I don't know, man.
I think Nicholson's like the pro running the organization at the macro, and I think that Lowe is like Cates' consigliere to the team.
But who's Chiarelli's boss?
Nicholson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does he let this continue to happen?
He needs to go as well.
Nicholson?
Yeah. He is knowingly letting this happen.
Okay, so if you have one silver bullet, who do you put it into?
Oof.
We'll go around the circle.
I think
I have to
one
know the
silver bullet. Like
hierarchy,
right
like-
now, I think because I'm more focused on the player side.
Yeah.
So I have to say Chiarelli
Show
right now because
one bullet, Chiarelli. The person just disappears. Their contract disappears. Their employment disappears.
Oh, you're talking about even players?
Like yes,
No,
anybody.
fuck it, I'll still believe in Luch no, I wouldn't put the bullet
Chia?
in him. I'd have to say Chia.
Bag milk. Who'd you
I'm
put
going to
a
go
silver-
with myself.
You're gonna put a bullet yourself.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Oh, bag milk.
Tired,
No.
You know what it is? It's like actually doing the blogging for a weekend like this, where it's just mind-numbingly painful.
It's more tiring than being
that
hungover,
connects to your
probably.
civic pride in the sense of like, we're just like, enough's enough.
Well, and exactly that, because today I go on Twitter, I'm doing my thing, I'm running the nation Twitter, waiting for something to happen, nothing's happening. And all the mentions is an entire league's worth of fans and media just shitting on Edmonton everywhere.
Exactly.
And it's
We are the
exhausting.
laughing stock of the hockey community. We are.
Yeah.
Chalmers, you are. You wear anything Oilers and you're in another fucking market, you're a joke.
Yeah, and that's fine with me. I don't.
Is
like,
it?
I'll look at them and go, "Yeah, man, we suck." But I don't sit there and go,
No,
dude. "Come on, man."
You, Chris Chalmers,
Back in
are
the
a
day.
fucking joke.
No, but I've
through
changed.
these people's eyes
Yes, I
because of what's
understand that.
happening.
I understand that, but if their only perception of me is because I'm wearing my Oilers hat, then so fucking be it.
Man, you must be a good dad.
Okay, so here I want to say my silver bullet.
I know.
My
We're
silver
not,
bullet.
we're not done, son.
Thank you for saying I'm a good dad.
You are a good dad.
You are a great dad. You're the Connor McDavid of dads.
Who do you put a bullet in, Chalmers?
Whoever is directly underneath Daryl Cates
Nicholson.
that manages all this. Okay, him. He's got to go, and they need to bring in somebody who.
But do we keep the Bobby Nix burger as a legacy?
That's the thing.
A
Maybe it's
legacy
going to cost
burger.
them a bunch of money rebranding the Bobby Nix burger and the whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. But if we get somebody who Daryl Cates just trusts and will like allow to just do things that are best for the product on the ice, I just don't feel like that's what they're doing.
If the Oilers were about monetizing, they would have a fire Chiarelli burger and they would sell it every night.
Oh, it'd be spicy.
Barbecues. It's all salt.
Spicy Havarti.
Just salt in between two pieces of bread.
So I want to. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry,
he's got a-
sorry,
he's got a
silver bullet.
I
He's got a
want to build it. Then I want to create a proposition.
Oh,
Ooh,
a prop
propose
bet.
me.
Now, Chalmers, you get rid of Nicholson
Sure.
because you think that is it the case of there's not enough activity going on within the OEG to make the organization better, or the activity that's being done is wrong? Like, is it Kate? I don't think it's like Kate's being like, hey, you do this, hey, you do that. I think Kate's is like, do this on your own, and the people that he's like handed it off to are unable to do it.
Yeah, I think it's the activity, and I think the things that they're doing are wrong, but it's because like I hate the term the old boys club more than anybody. When people say it, I cringe. Just like when people would say "Wasetna" to me, I hate that word for some reason.
What's that?
What's Scats now?
Whatever it is.
What does that
Phonetically
mean?
pronounced.
It's a town in Edmonton or in Alberta.
Is that the old Hobima?
No,
No idea.
no, it's north. It doesn't matter.
So I hate the term the old boys club. But the fact of the matter is if you have a rich guy who wants to pay money to hang out with the people that he looked up to, this is what you're going to get. If this is the type of expertise they bring with it, he's like, the only way to get rid of it all is to just like, he doesn't get to have that lifestyle. He doesn't get to have like Kevin Lowe's phone number and talk to him every day. He doesn't get to call Craig Mack and say, hey, you want to meet me down in the Chairman's Lounge for a
Well, he's never here anyway, so that's
so then
irrelevant.
they don't get to come hang out. If he has to fire them and they don't work for the team anymore, they don't get to come to his house in Malibu or wherever the hell he is. They just don't. He just doesn't get to have that lifestyle.
I bet
But
you
right now,
anything.
it feels like that's what he's doing.
This idea of like the red wine summits, you know what that?
Yeah.
They all get together and drink red wine. I think, was it, who called them out for that?
Spectre.
Tchaikovsky? Spectre. All the old boys get together, drink red wine, and fix the team. They have red wine summits.
It's working.
I don't think Cates is talking to anybody anymore. If we think that like Messier and Cates and Kalo are sitting around in their chinos down in Malibu watching the original Boys in the Bus movie and cheersing each other,
Yeah.
I bet you they don't even talk. When I heard that Chiarelli didn't even talk to Lucic this offseason, remember that was his boy? And then 1 year into that untradeable contract he signed him to, he didn't even talk to his boy all summer. I was like, this narrative that we have in our minds that like everyone's just getting together afterwards and having like an incompetence party. I doubt it, man.
Did you?
I think where
to your
Chalmers is at.
silver bullet to Nicholson.
Yeah, of course.
I've been thinking about it. When he took the podium last summer and told us that this is Pete's team,
Part of the plan.
part of the
Deflection.
plan. No, but that's Bobby Nix saying that. Maybe he is silver bullet worthy.
Maybe. It reminds me of remember when Bieber used to always give his cars to Lil Twist?
Yes.
And Lil Twist was getting
He got
all
pulled
kinds
over
of
in the
tickets.
Lambo.
This is
He got
exactly
pulled over
like
in the
that.
Lambo.
I agree.
Somebody had
Finally.
to take Bieber,
Yeah.
shake him, and say, listen, bro, you can't be lending your Ferrari to Lil Twist all the time.
Can't be trusted. He's the worst member of YMCMB.
Somebody got to Bieber at that time and got him to stop.
That's
peeing
what I'm
in
saying. So
janitorial
I'm
buckets.
on the same page as you, Chalmers.
So we're looking to
I just
Justin
solved the team, by
Bieber
the way.
for the
Anybody notice
prototype
that?
of how to solve this problem.
We need Scooter Braun.
We're looking to Team Bieber and how he's managed his life. Here's what I do, silver bullet bag milk.
Go ahead.
So I walk into the new arena, Chalmers, right? Wearing nothing at all. Assless chaps, 6-shooter in each thing.
With
And
one bullet, though, in both guns.
Yeah. And my Taylor Hall Draft Country, Oil Draft Country, whatever it was, Oil Country Draft 2010 shirt
Yeah.
that I bought at a Prospects game for $7. I still have it. And I'd walk in the dressing room, and I'd get the gun out, and I'd look at everybody, and I'd look at Lucic, and his eyes would be big because he knows he's underperformed. But I'm like, no, too easy. And I'd look down the bench, and I would look over at like, who else sucks? Well, we'll
Tobias
say
Reeder.
Talbot. But I'm like, nah, you got twins. I'm going to let you live, B. Boom! I'd blow Trent Yawney's head off to send a fucking message.
Who is Trent Yawney?
Trent Yawney is the defensive coach.
He's dead now, boy. You better skate harder. Manning, you piece of shit.
I feel like the silver in that bullet wasn't worth the shot.
I think there's so many people in the room that need to be scared that you don't shoot one of them. You do like an El Chapo move and you like shoot one of the lieutenants that you don't care about to scare all the ones that are capable of improving.
Yeah,
Trent
like
Yawney, you're dead, son.
Like when he gets Victor in Breaking Bad. What's the guy's name?
I've never watched Breaking Bad, so you're looking at the wrong guy.
Never mind.
I want to create this as like.
Hold on, if we got a whole thing, we got to take a break because Jared had his finger in the air. Is this a thing, or do we have a
quick the proposition?
All right, so we'll do it after the break. Real life podcast. Back after this.
Jared's damn finger.
SumoJerky.com. You've been through the gas station. You've seen all the flavors: teriyaki, black pepper, maybe extra hot, sweet chili. That's about as exotic as it gets. But if you subscribe to Sumo Jerky at sumojerky.com, check them out online, enter your preferences. They source out the finest small batch handcrafted maw and paw jerky from all over the world. They have all your favorite flavors, but it's high quality handcrafted versions of your favorite flavors, and they get exotic as well. Exotic jerky from exotic animals, or play it straight and stick with beef. Enter your preferences at sumojerky.com. It shows up once a month. Deliver it as a gift if you like. Have it sent to your work for a little pick-me-up during the day. SumoJerky.com. Follow them on Instagram at SumoJerky for pictures of their meat, or sign up for the service yourself. SumoJerky.com. Once a month, meat delivered right to your door. It's the home delivery service you didn't realize you need until it started showing up. My favorite day of the month is Sumo Jerky Delivery Day. SumoJerky.com to get started.
God, I could use some jerky right now.
Oh, should be arriving. I started seeing some photos online. People getting their bags. Chalmers thought Trent Yawney played for Chicago, so...
Silver bullet. He did in NHL 94.
I was like, is Chicago in town or something? What's going on here?
Oh, jeez. Jay, what do you got? You got a whole proposition.
Well, I was thinking, okay, so now we're a cap team that has Connor McDavid.
Explain what that means.
So we're a team that spends the cap.
Yeah.
So we have got Connor McDavid, and we feel like we're living in hell, and we've had one good year in 13. So would you rather... So I was thinking about sparsing out. Would you rather? Now I was thinking about the past. Remember in the 90s?
Oh, do I?
Remember in the 90s? This is post Old Boys Club 90s.
When we would go buy our tickets at 7-Eleven?
Yeah. And the Oilers were just a bunch of Johnny Lunch Pails, and they would just squeak in 8th place. So you'd feel every win, but you wouldn't be upset because you kind of expected them to lose.
Yeah.
And they would squeak into the playoffs and then surprise us. Sometimes they make it to the second round. And if they did,
amazing.
That felt like the Stanley Cup. So would you rather be in that situation where your team, because there wasn't a cap around, we're probably spending to the basement if they were. They were probably the lowest budget team in the league, but they were able to find a way to get it done. Would you want to have that Johnny Tryhard lunch bucket 90s Oilers just always finding a way to get in and put in a fucking hard working effort because they came and competed every night? Or would you rather be going through what we're going through right now? What was more fun?
Oh, wow. There's no question what was more fun. It was watching Billy G out there twirling and whirling and watching.
Expectations were less then. It was less heartache.
Watching Mike Greer pop his shoulder in.
But the hockey was different. These are all guys that just had the can-do attitude or can-do spirit and came out and busted their nuts. They might not have the elite level ability. We'd maybe have one guy like Dougie Wade or Billy G or whatever, and then just a bunch of Todd Marchands wrapped around him and Mikey Greers. And
just saying those 4 names, I want the 90s back.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, where it was like you felt it, like, holy shit, we beat the Rangers. Like
a
that's
Marty
awesome.
Reasoner
And
right now.
And then like squeak into the like. Would we rather that or this fucking cesspool that we're dealing with right now?
I have to think that in those days we were swimming against the stream because we knew if David Oliver lit it up, we'd lose him for $100,000 to the Rangers.
Yeah.
The issue here isn't that we're losing anybody, ironically.
Nope.
The only guys...
Was it better to be a fan then or now?
Then. Way better. But this is the worst it's been ever for an Oilers fan.
And we have Connor McDavid.
I would argue this is the worst time it's ever been to be an Oilers fan.
Yeah.
Because the delta between what should be happening and what is happening has never been wider.
And the best player in the league is on our team.
And this is where my head's exploding. As someone who's got to partake in that 90s, and not to bring up the past, because we didn't win any cups, but like, I was more connected. It was...
And that was before Oilersnation, too. That was just when you were a civilian reading a young David Staples' takes in the Journal.
Yeah.
Bag milk, presser talk. What did Connor say?
Connor was basically, I think, and this is just a paraphrase because I lost the quote, but the money shot is if you don't believe, you've got to leave. And Connor is, bless his heart, he was trying to say that there's a lot of belief in the group. It's up to them. He's doing all the Connery things that you would expect. But the look in his eyes tell me that he doesn't really mean it. He's a little bit dead inside.
Really?
He just had that look like either he's got a crippling flu of some kind, which he's been known to play through.
Connor tired.
Or he's just exhausted because you know what? He has a whole city on his back. There's 3 forwards on this team that are worth anything. And they're playing so many minutes right now that this guy just looks exhausted.
Well, hockey's exhausting, but if you, and like, nothing's more exhausting than having to go home at night and think about how tomorrow I'm going to get trotted out to answer these questions. And I've got to somehow give people an answer that's not going to make them like just completely depressed.
I love Connor for saying what he said. I love like that. That's exactly what a leader should say. I don't know what's happening in the locker room, but like to go out and say that, I think it's good. You know that guy's giving it his all, and I feel like
who's he mad at when Connor lies in his gold bed at night?
That's a good
who's
question.
Who's he pissed at? There was a thing they showed. They had old Remenda and the other gray-haired fellow. What's his name? Bagwell, angry guy, John Shannon. And they were second intermission at the Carolina game, the bastards. But they're like basically ripping on the McBlender, right? And they're like, players want to stay together as a line and they want to be allowed to work through it as a group. And they showed some play where they were doing a zone start and they're going into the offensive zone and something goes awry and someone's like not familiar with the play and they just show Connor like wheeling to the bench because the play is dead. And that dead inside your eyes look, you just look like.
Well, you got to think that guy is full of frustration right now.
But who is he mad at, you think?
I would be frustrated at, well, and I mean, obviously I'm just guessing, but I would be frustrated at Peter Chiarelli in the sense that it is impossible to build a house with one hammer and a handful of jelly beans.
Chalmers, have you ever built a house with jelly beans?
Never.
Your story checks out, Bagmail.
It's just
can't
like,
be done.
Yeah.
Players like that win. And he does not have the team around him to do that. And there was one person or a collective of people, which is arguably worse than one person, that is responsible for all the players that are around him. This is 4 years into Chiarelli's tenure now. This is his team. You're not blaming Mac T. You're not blaming Tambellini. The best players you have on this team were from Tambellini and Mac T. So if I'm Connor, that's who I'm frustrated at. I'm also frustrated at the people above Chiarelli that just see this as fine, as enablers.
But who inside the room?
Oh,
like,
inside the room?
I think if you're Connor and you're like thinking more micro, right? You're not like thinking big picture organization. You're thinking like, good Christ, why haven't we scored in the last 8 power plays or whatever it was? Who's he mad at, Jay, you think? Is he mad at Lucic? Is he like, you were supposed to come here and be the guy that I wanted to play with when I was 15, but you showed up when you were old and shitty?
It's funny, Hitchcock says that like, they're playing for him. That was a bunch
playing
of
for who?
For Lucic, because he scored. Oh. It's like, these guys love him. They're playing for him. Who is he mad at?
Connor doesn't seem like the type of guy that gets mad at other players.
No, I think he's like mad at himself.
Yeah, that's
for being born a year too early.
Chalmers, you shut your mouth. You're a good dad, but you're a jerk Oilers fan. I think also when Chris Pronger bounced on Edmonton and let Edmontonians think it was because he didn't like Bonnie Doon Mall, I think we still feel aftershocks of that. We still feel aftershocks of the Gretzky trade. We still feel the aftershocks of the dismantling of the Cup team in 1990. This idea that Oilers fans are running around being like, oh no, Connor's going to want to leave. Like, that's just not even in the cards. For a guy like Connor McDavid, the way he's wired, he's got an 8-year deal and $100 million, and he's the franchise. He wants to be in Oilers' whole career.
But he's got a machine around him.
Yes.
But is it?
He's got a machine around
sitting
him.
Around here,
otherwise.
Well, no, we've never heard one peep that Connor wants to leave. This is a storyline,
of course.
But this is a storyline Oilers fans are making up to make themselves doubly more free.
Well, I wouldn't say so much Oilers fans are making it up in the sense that you are 100% right that the Pronger trade, the Gretzky trade, all this is still lingering. Everybody else that follows hockey knows that pressure point, and they are pushing it heavily right now. So it's a point where Oilers fans have nothing left to do but say, well, maybe he is going to leave, or get angry and go to battle.
But at some point, you got to think on Connor's side. Like, he is on a mission. And if he is in a situation where he is being prevented because he can't do it all on his own.
We're talking legacy.
Yeah. So that's where this ties in.
So that's where you'd be like, at some point, does he think like, well, we got to part ways here?
Is it hard to manage that Connor isn't somewhat mad / frustrated with the fans and media in Edmonton?
No.
Because of the way that he needs players. Let's look at it from his point of view. He needs players to play with that can score goals. And we don't allow these players to make mistakes without ripping them apart. Then the team, they have to sense it. They see it and they make moves. You know, like Kajula is playing great in Chicago.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And
with Trent Yawney?
He hasn't scored yet, though, right? Manning scored first.
Yeah, Manning scored first.
Which
blew my mind through my
screen.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Is there a part of him that just, if he was to have a candid moment and you said to him, like, this will not leave this room, what do you think? What would you say to the fans and the media? Just say, like, just chill, you guys. Like, don't just kill everybody at the first sign of blood.
Dude, we are patient. We are
you shitting me?
Buddy, we've made the playoffs once in 13 years.
I understand that, but we're not patient. We're patient in the long run, but in everyday life, you think we're patient with like certain players and people? You think we're not maybe the most unpatient team in the league when it comes to dealing with a player who the fact that Toby Ryder isn't getting a worse deal is shocking to me right now.
Because he's not making $9 million a year. He wasn't signed to be a gun.
I understand.
So we're not shitting on Draisaitl. We're not shitting on McDavid. We're shitting on Luch.
So Calgary's doing really good right now. Are they shitting on James Neal because he's worth
They're
a lot
winning.
of money?
They are.
That's the thing.
James Neal takes a lot of heat in Calgary.
Yeah, and they're winning. That's the thing. Like if we don't see a light at the end of the tunnel right now, when we drafted McDavid in 2015, we're like, I was telling everyone, I'm like, the next 15 years of my life are going to be awesome. And and we had that first season where we were shit, and that was fine. Just like Crosby, I think Pittsburgh still finished last, and they drafted Malkin, and he got 100 points. Like, I was fine with that. Next year we make the playoffs. But then all of a sudden we see, and all these changes happening that are having a negative impact on the team, and then that reopens the wound that was the decade of darkness.
Yeah.
At some point, as fans, we're actually entitled to having a good team. At some point,
of course we are.
We're being denied that right now. And it's not the players on the ice's fault. It's the fact that we traded Ryan Strome for now waivers for no one, or we made that trade for Griffin Reinhardt. These are all things that are all now showing their head right now, and we're feeling that. Someone's taking this away from us.
Yes, I agree that.
And that's why we're mad.
Half of the players that leave here due to just a stupid mistake by the organization that go on and you see them like Cogliano, who's just a really nice fit over there, and Glenn Curtis or Corey Glencross. Yeah. Glenn Curtis. Because I love the way what's his name said that on the radio. But anyways, these guys go and they get moved for stupid decisions. Yes. Yep. And you look at them a couple of years or a year down the road and you go, man, that was a pretty stupid decision. How many guys that have left here because of fan and media pressure, they got worse over the time, and they go and they're also successful. And you go, man, we ran that guy out a bit and he was successful. That happens the opposite way. I get that. But at the same time, I just don't think that you can say that we are.
But that's a symptom of bigger. Someone
players.
Who gets run out of town. So Everly got ran out of town because he performed shitty in the playoffs, and you can argue he's performing. He's shitty in Long Island, so that's fine. Justin Schultz, yeah, we shit on, but you don't know why? We had a fucking GM that said he's a Norris candidate, put him in first pairing, exposed all of his weaknesses, and set him up to fail. They created the situation for us to react like that.
I guess you're like, what it sounds like is that again, management is. It's the ones that, it's like they're trying to sell us a bag of goods to make at that moment, their decision to seem right. So we all get behind it.
Yeah.
And if they were just to say, look, man, we got this guy and we think he could be good. Let's just see how it plays out. Now our expectation level doesn't get shot through the roof. And when at the first sign of it stinking like shit, we're
so reactionary. There's no long-term planning. And then also you get things like, oh, it's Peter's team, when the Rangers are basically putting a handwritten letter out to their fans saying, hey, we're sorry, we fucked up, and we're going to fix this.
I think that Edmontonians or Oilers fans, not just in Edmonton, all they really want is like a fair deal. They want to understand what's up. And I think the communication is so piss poor. When you're like, why'd they come out and just be like, hey, we got this guy, chill out. I agree. Like I've been watching a lot of non-Oilers games because I'm trying to get my fix of wins. You know how you do. You watch American feeds. They got assistant coaches on during intermission. They're interviewing the coach on the bench during the game, mind you. Right? There's way more accountability. I think the fact that anybody's even paying attention to the Oilers is insane. If it wasn't for Connor, I shudder to think of what we'd be icing right now.
That'd be terrible.
We'd have Kovalchuk and shit, right? But when you don't communicate with your fans who are extraordinarily heavily invested in your team, you're going to have everything go sideways. And you're going to have people being mad. You're going to have people knocking each other out in the stands.
And when you have also fans like they do in Edmonton that know the game and know what's going on.
Or think we know the game because we played NHL 94 in 2008.
And that's where we are worse, to like Chalmers' point. Like we are armchair GMs. You know, we're all a bunch of scouts in the stands. Like, but that's being Canadian, and that's fine.
Tell me a better way to get through 12 years of 1 year playoff hockey. Like what else? What we got to do what the Minnesota Vikings fans did: grow long beards and say we won't cut them until we're in the Super Bowl, then die with a real long beard. Like I don't know what.
I don't know what there is to do.
Model.
Go to movies.
Chalmers. I did go to a movie.
Which one?
Vice.
Oh, how was it?
Dick Cheney, unbelievable.
I heard it's
Christian
really good.
Bale looks like Dick Cheney, but Dick Cheney kind of sounds like Batman. That's very interesting. Let's take a break. Real Life Podcast. We'll talk about Dick Cheney after this.
Alberta is where you find hard-working hands, where prairie-grown rye meets mountain spring water, where we pull dragons from the ground, and we choose Rig Hand Distillery. Vodka, whiskey, gin, and more. Rig Hand is made from Alberta-grown ingredients, locally distilled and distributed. It's a bottle of Alberta. Ask for award-winning Rig Hand in your liquor store and visit righanddistillery.com.
Chalmers,
Yeah.
you seem frazzled.
Just tired, man.
Yeah, you're tired. What happened? What's the matter?
I haven't had a Red Bull in what's today?
22nd?
The 21st.
21st.
So I should have had 42 Red Bulls this year already, and I've had 0.
Wow.
Do you have any other caffeine at all, or was that your
No.
sole source?
Well, I don't know. Does Coke Zero have caffeine in it?
Yeah,
Little
I would
bit.
imagine so. A
Why
little
don't you
bit,
try
little
coffee?
Yeah,
dose.
why don't you try the...
Because I hate coffee.
But
Haven't I
where
did
Maybe
it?
do
you
like
get
it?
something like delicious, like a nice vanilla latte or
No,
something.
that's because I think I already said this on the podcast once, but like I got 2 problems with coffee. Number 1, the minute I drink it, I got to find a bathroom. And number 2, I haven't met a person who doesn't have a coffee that doesn't spill it all over themselves all the time.
That's
Like,
only Tim Hortons
in their
coffee because their lids are
Yeah, their
terrible.
lids
are
So
terrible.
for everyone,
That's
just for
exactly what I
some
said.
backstory here, Chalmers had, I guess we can say for now,
One
a
cup.
Red Bull addiction.
He was like the Bobby Brown of Red Bull.
Yeah,
Call it
like
that.
his wife was trying to tell him not to drink Red Bull, so he would hide his Red Bull and have secret Red Bulls that his
I couldn't
wife
keep
would
them
know
in the
about.
fridge, and I'd like to drink them cold, so I had to find alternate ways to make them cold
A hole in
without
the ground.
her seeing them.
Nature's fridge.
Yeah, fridges outside, ice buckets.
So you made the mistake of telling all 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast about this. Then someone tweets at you and me and at the old lady.
Yeah.
Oh no, the missus got looped
yeah.
in.
So now she doesn't get to see it all that often because I hide it.
Twitter?
No, the Red Bull addiction. So when somebody brings it up to her
On
that's-
social, like
yeah.
a snitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that opens up a
She
can
goes,
of worms.
"Oh, you're still drinking those, huh? 2 a day?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I thought you were gonna not drink those anymore. You know, I don't like them." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I don't like them either, but
They're gross.
they're so good." So yeah, no, I told her for New Year's resolution
Good on
I
you.
would give them up.
Good, buddy.
So now drink Rockstars.
Yeah,
no, no.
what are the loopholes here?
Energy? There is not one. There's no energy drinks. Just
No energy drinks. It's a blanket.
Yeah, no
So you're
energy
falling
drinks.
asleep while you're
Anything
driving now?
like a pop. If you had if you have a pop, you know, like those Mountain Dews that have, or like the Cokes or the Pepsis that have like the energy kick to them. Nothing. None of that shit. Like I literally have to have water and like Coke. Like all I really ever drank was Red Bull, Coke Zero, rum and Coke, Ryan Cokes.
I hope that
Some-
would make the list.
some
Like,
milk.
I know what you drink.
like some milk and G2s. And so we buy a lot of G2s from Costco now. So yeah, no man, like I'm falling asleep when I'm driving. I'm veering into lanes. Like it's getting dangerous out there.
You know what keeps me awake? My
Spits.
thunderous rage for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wake
not
up in the middle of the night.
I'm not actually falling
"Motherfucker!"
asleep when I'm driving people. It's just a joke. But like I've found that eating spits while I drive helps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to find a different crutch for you. We
Well,
got
so
to get
what
you
else
the
has
coffees,
caffeine?
man.
I'm not drinking
Meth.
Like
You
I
can
hate
learn
the
it.
smell
No,
of
just
coffee.
key bumps all over the
I
Just
place.
do meth,
I
man.
hate the
Get a
smell.
little Greg, keep it in your
You know,
glove
like
box.
cigarettes I'd smoke if I was doing that. But seriously, if I I can't drink coffee, and I don't like the taste. I don't like the smell. I will never drink coffee. I know me. I'll never do it. So like other than
mainline 5-hour energies straight into your vein.
Yeah,
Aaron.
but
that's an energy drink.
Nope.
Look, that's not the only resolution I have. I'm trying to get a little bit healthier in all aspects. Maybe present myself a little better for the missus.
Oh.
And so I'm trying to cut down some sugar too. I can't just be drinking all these sugar drinks. Like there's got to be something. So I exercise in the morning.
Oh, that's good.
Keeps me, you get a little more energy during the day when you do that.
Yeah.
Chalmers will give you a tip. If you want some energy in the morning, have an apple for breakfast.
That's what I've been doing.
Very energizing.
It's nice.
Is this
apple?
a thing?
It's a
Pick it
fucking
up.
thing, man.
Was
Mother
there studies
Nature-
done? Or is this the best?
You
milk
work for the
Spire
Apple
study?
board, Jay?
Well, if anyone's in the apple industry, I will pour out your apples. Some Golden Delicious, maybe a Gala
I'll try it for all next week. I'll have an apple every morning.
every morning.
Okay.
It provides you some alertness. It gives you wings.
How do you eat? Do you just like straight bite into it? Because I don't like biting into apples like
Knife
that.
and fork normally.
So I have this thing at home where you just like push it down. No, straight up. This thing pushes it down and makes like 8 perfect slices.
Oh my God, you just can't put it in your hand and eat it out of your hand?
Yeah,
Just
I
told
went
you didn't like
old
to
school.
do that.
Jesus. Okay. Well, for 5-star Chalmers and his, use your little slicing device, but eat the fucking apple.
Okay, sounds good. I will. So
Give it a go.
to sum it up, I have 42 Red Bulls. What does that cost? So I haven't drank 42 Red Bulls, and I've saved myself $126 so far.
There you
I'm
go.
not drinking them.
Yeah, you should.
And my wife is a whole lot happier with me. She doesn't check in as much as I'd like. I'd like to be
more
able to
vested.
like.
Maybe someone should rat you out again.
Yeah,
someone
if
out there
somebody'd like to
rat him out
rat-
again.
Yeah,
Think I saw
Let's
Chalmers.
her honest. Let's hold her.
What's
to
Aaron's
account.
Twitter handle, Chalmers?
I don't know.
What's your Twitter handle?
I honestly don't know.
You do know.
Well,
You don't know
probably
Aaron's Twitter
at
handle?
Aaron Chalmers or
Is there
at
like a
Chalmers
global
Aaron.
on there or something at the end?
I have, buddy. I'm telling you, I don't know.
For a man who said to his wife already in the media, if you don't change your name to my name when we get married, we're done. You really haven't followed up.
Yeah, you're on a
You
wild.
really just took her at her word.
Yeah,
and then
she's Aaron
didn't pay
Harrison at
attention.
Global.
What is Aaron?
I'm literally looking it
I
up
see.
and it's not
Can
coming.
you? Well,
It's-
well, there's a dampening field here, Chalmers.
Yes.
The Oilers have seen to it.
So I think it's at Chalmers Aaron or at Aaron Chalmers.
Okay. Aaron works for. She's the anchor
Global.
lady on
She
Global.
is. She's the
every
morning
day.
anchor lady.
Morning anchor lady.
She does a beautiful job.
Snitch to Aaron and say,
It's
follow
at-
up with Chris.
Send in a
At-
tip to the news team.
Yeah, that's right.
At Chalmers Aaron. Say,
At
hey,
Chalmers.
I heard
Hey.
your husband's been doing a great job not
He's a
drinking
good
Red
guy.
Bulls.
No.
And a
tell
good
him that
father.
tell him I saw him sneaking a Red Bull the other day
No.
out behind a dumpster.
See, that's not helpful.
No.
Well, then at least get her vested. You want her more engaged. You want her checking on you.
I do.
Because you want to be proud of what you're doing.
I
right
want to
now,
be able to
Chalmers.
not, and she can tell when I lie, because if she's like, did you have a Red Bull? I'd be like, I'd have to think that split second think, is she going to find out? And I'd be like, no.
Chalmers, I'll teach you
This
how
way
to
I
lie.
can just be like, yeah, baby, thanks for asking. Ask tomorrow again.
and again,
You know
Anyways,
what? This
did you guys
conversation
give
was
anything
so
up?
much more fun about talking about the fucking toxic mess.
when I shot Trent Yawney,
Well, that was
Was
kind
it,
of funny,
though?
actually. I enjoyed that.
You give anything up, Begman?
R.I.P.
I don't give anything up. No.
No
I-
resolutions at all.
No. I'm one with my vices. I appreciate them. We're on an understanding. We have an understanding. So
You've
no, I
mapped-
don't give
you've
anything up.
perfectly mapped them into your life.
That's right. Yeah. They balance each
You-
other out.
Squire, did you do
So
anything?
I was away. I haven't had a chance. So normally I set goals for the year, and I will do that in the next week. And some of it will be like lifestyle stuff, of course. So I don't have anything specific, but it's just trying to.
You guys don't take this serious enough.
Oh, buddy, I do. I set like my goals would be like I don't smoke. I don't know.
Like I set a goal to read more this year.
I don't
Like I set a
smoke, I
book
don't-
One thing
goal.
I did
you
is
know.
I've cut my coffee intake down. I tried it, so I will not have a coffee past 11 a.m.
How many are you running now? Like I've personally had 3 today.
I'm two is the most I can have, and I can't have anything anything after 11 a.m. Because like if you have a coffee after 11 a.m. or afternoon, I notice that I'm sometimes on edge in the evening, and so I'm just limiting some caffeine intake right there. But in the morning, I can have 2 cups. I don't care if it's back to back, but it's all good.
Nice.
Get on the coffee train, Chalmers.
No, man,
I think
not
you'll
gonna
like
happen.
it, man.
I'm telling you.
Buddy, you can do it.
Well, you know how much sugar and cream I'd have to put in there?
No,
Or like Bailey's? Like I literally.
You know
how good is
drunk
it?
I'll
Now
have to
just
be.
like mix
Coffee
2 of
and
your
Bailey's
vices.
is amazing.
I'll
Yeah,
be so drunk
so-
if I drink coffee every day.
Because I have gone out to play outdoor hockey and I've wanted a coffee Bailey's, or I've been doing an outdoor event at something, I've wanted a coffee Bailey's. Do you know that I've had to figure out the ratio to do it that fits for me? And it is literally 50-50, if not more Baileys.
So another thing you could do on that note that's non-alcoholic is you can go French vanilla half, coffee half.
Aren't those things just full of sugar?
Yeah. You're taking.
I never drank any coffee thughout university.
So if
and I didn't drink coffee at all because I thought I didn't want to smell like all my teachers in school. You remember they'd lean over your desk and be like,
yes.
Do you know your multiplication tables? I'm like, good Lord.
I hate that smell.
I go get a real job after school, right? And I remember going in, Curtis, my boy, and no, I wouldn't have been Curtis. Anyways, fine, different guy. But and I'm just like, man, I'm fucking tired. How do we get through this? How many more years till I get to retire? And they're like, you're 23. I'm like, okay. How do we do it? This guy was like, we drink coffee. It was my first day as having a real job. We drink coffee. And we went down the hallway, drank a coffee, and we never looked back.
And now you're on, like, you drink a couple of
we're in our cafe. I need so much coffee. We had to create a business to bring us coffee to our desk.
I just feel like your guys' way of getting me to drink coffee would entail me having the 26 grams of sugar that a Red Bull has in that cup of coffee to make it taste good for me. So it's like, well, what, I'm not giving up anything because now I'm still getting the caffeine. So my heart's still getting that jolt, and the coffee and the sugar's still making me wired and like
caffeine's not bad for you within reason.
What if you just swallow a handful of beans?
There you go.
Just mix it up.
They have what? Does the beans have the caffeine in them already? What is this? Natural caffeine?
You just chuck them down the hatch.
Coffee beans.
There's a lot I don't know about.
Or just have
beans.
coffee ice cream. Have like a whole quart of.
I swear to God, you guys are trying to like.
I knew a guy who used to eat chocolate covered coffee beans.
Ice cream for
he would have a
breakfast.
bag beside his bed. And what he would do is he would roll over. This was his alarm. He'd eat a handful of coffee beans covered in chocolate, go back to sleep. When his eyes shot open 45 minutes later, it was
like
time
a rocket.
to start the day.
If anyone is listening, please send us
No one's
suggestions.
listening.
I know, but if there is happened to one person and they've got a suggestion, knowing what Chalmers' demands are of can't be coffee and can't have sugar, what can he drink to stay alert?
You could go foraging for some guarana root.
Ooh.
That's
right.
That's what I heard.
I've got issue with guarana. I've read some bad articles about guarana.
Man, nothing's good. You know what?
Nothing is good, man. Being alive is a fatal disease. Best and worst. Jared, you like that segue? You know it. Chalmers drinking a Red Bull.
That was water, babe.
There's also an empty Red Bull can on the desk right now.
Staring me right in the
Chalmers
face.
been staring
And
at
we're
it. He's like,
sponsored
"Oh my
by
God,
Red Bull,
you're
so there's
doing
a
this to
fridge
me."
upstairs full of free Red Bull.
We recommend everyone drink Red Bull.
I would have Red Bull
Chalmers
after
in
this,
case.
Chalmers.
We're going to support his decision.
I respect your
I'll be
decision.
like, that's why I'm not married to your wife, Glug.
because you drank. Yeah.
That's why. Best of the worst. I'll go first. My best of the week is my worst of the week. So I bought a new Connor jersey, bag milk.
Super sharp.
Really
All
nice.
Star, black. You know me, Chalmers. I only wear
It's
black.
beautiful. Yeah.
Motherfuck. If I didn't hold on to that thing, I wore it to bed one night.
Yeah.
Talked about it last week. Felt great. Brought it out for the Calgary game. Peeing before the game starts.
No.
Haven't said a word. No. Don't worry. I didn't pee on the jersey.
Okay.
Peeing at Rogers. Guy in line goes, "Oh, I like your jersey, Wanye."
Whoa.
I wasn't talking. I didn't know anybody in the bathroom. I'm like, what the hell? How could somebody know that? I'm at the game with my friend, Aaron, you know. She's like, oh, yeah, you know, because you have really broad shoulders and no bum. You're easy to pick out. I'm like, I don't have a bum. So then the whole fucking first period, I'm sitting there reeling from the news. I don't have a bum. And
What am I sitting on? I don't have a bum.
Precisely.
Just
Apparently
sitting straight on
when it
spine.
comes
hip
right
bones.
down to it, you were asking to get noticed because you put out a jersey that not many people
Tons of
probably
people
have, and
those.
then wore.
Tons of people have them.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I walked up to another guy and went, nice podcast, Wanye. Too bad no one listens. He had no idea what I was talking about. So my best of the week and my worst of the week are the same damn thing.
Yeah. No bum.
No bum, short arms, Connor All-Star jersey, and a lot of sass. Bag milk, best of the week?
I'm going to go ahead and say my best and worst of the week are one thing as well. Best of the week is that the Oilers have a 10-day break coming up after tomorrow's game against the Detroit Red Wings, and I'm looking forward to that. Worst of the week is that I have to look forward to a 10-day break. 2 years ago when they went on that playoff run, no such break was welcomed by me.
Oh, needed
Connor's birthday?
All the hockey.
And this year, I'm looking forward to a little decompression time.
Yeah, it's time to reflect. Yeah.
I'm going to take a dip in Lake Bag Milk and just enjoy myself for 10 days.
You have a lake?
Well, I might, in my mind, sure.
You had a pond, I believe, at a golf tournament.
That's
I played
true.
at.
The sign's
Halfway
upstairs. Pond could be in a lake.
Jay, best and worst? What do you got?
Best
buddy?
and worst. So I'll start with my worst. Our boy at Oilholic on Twitter has been asking us repeatedly for me to tell the Husky shit story.
You got to.
And it's obviously, I told if I had time today, I would do it. So my worst of the week is that, sorry, man, you're going to have to keep waiting. I'm not going to say my worst of the week is the Oilers because clearly that's what this whole episode's been about. So shout out to my boy Oilholic, who I ran into at Superstore parking lot, came up to me saying, "When are you going to tell the story?"
For real?
Yes.
Oh,
Last
this guy
Monday.
wants it.
Really good guy.
When you tell it eventually, it has to
I'm
be
like,
brought
man,
to you
he's
by
like, I've been there so many times. I'm like, I know, man, you'll get it. You're the one who'll get it.
You should almost give him like a private
little
screening.
flavor.
Yeah.
Just add a little bit to it right now.
Okay,
DM him a video of you telling it.
So just briefly, it really involves. So it's on the gas station side. So
In Terralosa.
if you can picture,
No, not Terralosa.
no, in Wolf
Wolf
Willow,
Willow, West
Wolf Willow,
Ridge.
sorry, Wolf Willow, not Terralosa.
So if you've been in the gas station side, you'll understand the makeup of the two entrances and everything that's in between. I just don't want to give it away too much because you got to tell in detail.
But a buddy goes to the Wolf Willow Husky and all hell breaks loose.
And all hell breaks loose.
It's 1 minute to closing time, and
there's
he
a
can't make it any further.
Well, and there's a situation that leads to why he has to go there. Like I'm gonna need about 15 to 20 minutes because the description is what's gonna be key for the laughter. So that is coming down the pipe.
It's a
Just keep
Nation
waiting.
Network podcast special event when
Yes.
you tell
should
them
just
about
be its own episode.
My best of the week is non-hockey related because fuck hockey for right now. It's more to do with just a small place in my heart. It's called Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Go on.
They are in the midst of trying to regain
The arms race.
for world's largest moose. A bunch of asshats in Norway built this.
It's shiny too, the
this
Norwegian.
giant
Ugh.
silver, if you will, moose on a highway. It's not even in a town. And they put it up there to help reduce distracted driving.
A huge
adding
moose.
to it.
By adding to it. So it is now. It took over my boy Mac the Moose. You got to go check him out.
Who
Good
burned to
dude.
the ground and they rebuilt.
Burned to the ground, rebuilt. I was part of the fundraiser. I bought shirts. It was all about save, restore Mac the Moose. So the mayor is actively pursuing ideas to make him the world's largest moose. I think the simplest solution is just increasing its antlers.
Yeah, smart.
and making
Like
it
a real moose.
Like a real moose. Give him a bigger rack.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Mac the rack.
Everything it is big.
So I'm pumped that Moose Jaw is going out to regain its international crown. And for that, that's my best of the week. Good on you, Moose
Other
Jaw.
way to regain the title: destroy the other moose.
Well,
Yeah,
Send a
that'd be
team
easier.
of commandos.
that's something we can't talk about.
right.
It's probably
of course.
cost more to get to Norway and destroy it than it
Oh,
would
we'd
to just
never destroy
There is
the
a plot
Norwegian
right
moose.
now
Wink.
happening every 2 p.m. at Burger King over coffee in Moose Jaw.
The snowbirds
About
just get
this-
way extra
the
fueled.
snowbirds are going to be deployed.
We'll be back in 17 hours.
Yeah.
What? Where are they going?
Yeah, just like in Moose Jaw, where they got those awesome tunnels. They're tunneling their way to Norway. I'm going to shoot up underneath that moose and lop off its legs and drop it the 31 centimeters it needs
We out.
to be the shorter than Mac.
Chalmers,
yes.
best, worst, hit me.
Yeah. So my first best, because I might have two.
Oh,
My first best was,
Clemson.
not shockingly enough, football this weekend.
Oh.
It was amazing. I had the best day of watching football yesterday, and both games. My very best of that was at 11:30. I placed my 2-game parlay. I placed my bet, taking the Rams in the first game.
Oh, you can't.
I just did,
I don't know.
and then the Pats in the second game. That, after the Rams won, was looking like a really sweet win. But I decided to hedge my bet because there was a way that I could come out without losing anything if I bet on Kansas City. And so I did. So going into the second game, I won no matter what. And that kind of took a little bit of fun away from it. So I decided to take that extra money and put it on the Oilers. So thanks.
How'd they do?
Not good. So that could be considered my worst. But now my new best, and this could, if you guys haven't seen the Fire Festival documentary on Netflix,
Produced by
called
Crispy Shorts.
Crispy Shorts of the Fuck Jerry Productions or something.
Yeah.
The festival that never happened. It is one of the best things I've seen in a long time, and you will not regret watching it. There's some shocking things that happen in that, and the fact that they, a week out, didn't pull the plug on this whole thing and still let people fly there is amazing.
I can't wait to
Did
watch it.
anybody
I'm
see it?
super excited.
It is so good, man. It is so good.
It kind of sounds, the Fire Festival, which is the festival that never happened, kind of sounds like the Edmonton Oilers, which is the playoff run that's never going to happen.
If
I'm
they
all
keep
for
jacking up ticket prices
Yeah,
and they just
exactly.
invite us all in.
Everyone's
just
on the plane, we're
promising
flying
us-
Ja Rule's,
You know
pumping
what?
it up.
Hey,
I'm all for anything Ja Rule will endorse.
Yeah, John Rule loves the Oilers, actually.
Hey, perfect.
He does. He
Fitting.
you know what? And the fact is that I think most of these guys skated on this thing, except for the one main guy who's the villain in this show. And man, you just are going to grow to hate this person. a lot. Good thing that came out. I don't even know if I want to wreck this.
Ja Rule has never been heard from since?
No.
No,
so
he's still true.
when you watch the documentary, there is one person in this small island in the Bahamas who worked their whole life
restaurant
for some savings. Yeah. And she went out of her way for 2 days to make all these people food and all this stuff. And she lost everything. And it was like $50,000. And because of this documentary, a GoFundMe page was made up and they raised $90,000 in 2 days. And they gave it to this woman. And she's literally in the whole documentary. She's the one that affects you the most at the end. And you're just like, you really understand what these assholes did to this island. They just went in and destroyed it in a matter of a week. Like they destroyed people's lives, really.
It is like the Oilers.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's an amazing documentary. There's another one on Hulu. I haven't seen it, so if it sucks or if it's good,
There's
I don't
two
know.
fire documentaries?
It came out at the exact same time. Yeah. But I don't even know how to
That was
get
like the
Hulu.
Steve Jobs movies. They were just stacking on top
every
of each other.
afternoon. A new Steve Jobs movie came out.
Yeah, so that's my recommendation of the week.
Slash best.
It's a new thing.
That's the new thing. It just happened.
Well, gang,
Oh, this
can't wait to
Yale
see you
song-
next week.
Yeah, sorry.
when we're
Cut
making
you off, Wanye.
detailed plans on how to make a 3D weapon, 3D printing. And then we're going to go to Norway and take back the Mac the Moose Championship. Peace out, Real Life Podcast.
Fuck Harvard.